Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slippy and Thrifty Show. I am your co host, Thrifty, and below we have the
Jackass.
Ponytail Wonder.
Slippy. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Yes. Could you read the topic of today down in our scroll that we've discovered here?
Discovered. Like we're some sort of geniuses.
Right. We've managed to click a few buttons. So it says, "Welcome to the Slippy and Thrifty Show." Today's topic: knife collecting considerations. Also, Slippy is a jackass. So, welcome everybody to the chat. Thanks for coming along here. We're going to talk about knife collecting considerations of the complexities of owning a knife collection. But let's vamp up while we wait. We got all of 3 people in here, according to my number on the live number of people in here. So I don't know
Well, it
what's
says
going on
eight
with
for
that.
me.
No, it says 8. So maybe it's just taking a while to count up.
Could be that internet where you are, John. It's always excellent there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad today. I haven't had any issues lately, so I'm happy with it.
Would you like to see some new purchases I've got?
Let's reveal some knives.
Okay. So I had a couple of things turn up in the last couple of days, and I'll show 2 off now. So I just received this. This is the Alox Mini Champ. I've had the sort of the cellar door version for a while, and I loved it. And this has been sort of biting away at me for a couple of months now to pick it up. So I finally pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah, that's one I've been wanting again, just kind of biding my time.
Yeah, and the way on the cellar door version, they advertised the little Warncliffe looking blade as a letter opener, and the one I had no edge on it, and this one has actually got a really nice edge, like it's actually a blade. You see that on there, look?
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know, maybe they've changed that up or what. I don't know, but it is razor sharp.
Well, they probably thought that there was something defective with it when they got it, so they kept complaining, and then finally they just said, "Enough with that. We'll put an edge on it."
Yeah, but great little tool. So looking forward to doing a review on that and carrying that. And if any of you saw John's video of the single-bladed sow belly, you can pretty much guess why I bought this one.
That looks familiar.
Real familiar. So happy they finally released the single-bladed so I could pick one up without having to pay the ridiculous secondary market prices for one. And this is actually the first one I've got with the Sparks shield on it. So that's that sort of glittery white shield. I think it goes really well with the what was the handle material this again, John?
Kieranite, green Kieranite.
Kieranite scales, yeah. Almost like cracked glass, isn't it? It looks really cool. Love it.
It's got some 3-dimensionality to it. Pretty neat.
It's really hard to show on camera. You did say that in your review. It's like impossible unless you're like looking at it. It always looks a bit 2D, but in the sunlight, you can really see the 3-dimensional colors on there.
Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, pretty happy with the fit and finish on this as well. There's a little bit of gap in. You can probably just about make it out down here, but nothing major.
Nothing major.
Blade's nicely centered. They did a good job with this one.
About what you'd expect from the case. Yeah. So, I'm glad you're happy with it, and that's a cool pattern because that single-bladed one was one that I'd kind of been waiting on for quite a while to find one that was just you didn't have to buy on the secondary.
I actually found one on the secondary in the UK. It was, I think it was the ebony bone, like what Paddy's got. Not ebony bone, ebony wood, but it was like double the price that it would be from retail. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not in the collecting that I will willingly pay double what it's actually worth. That's too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, the collector's market, I guess, sets its prices based on what people are willing to pay, but
yeah,
I guess there's fewer people like you and I that are willing to pay, but I don't know. That's why I'd much rather buy a new one, just have something that's fresh in the box, and if it's got a problem, you can potentially send it back.
Yeah, rather than getting one off the secondary, and for all you know, they could say it's excellent, brilliant condition. You get it, and it could be like an absolute piece of crap.
Yeah, It's hard when you're buying on eBay. You want to be able to see the actual one you're buying. A lot of times they don't do that. If they have multiples for sale, they just put one like stock photo up, and you don't really know
Yeah,
what
they're,
you're
they're
getting.
they're bound to pick the best looking one as well, aren't they? And then
Yeah. The old tricks of the trade, right?
mhm.
All right, so you ready to roll into this? We've got 15 people in here now. I think we're
Sure.
getting along here.
We've got
So,
Terry and Joe. Oh, welcome. So, shall I
Joe,
bring up the slide and we'll just sort of make our way? So, Joe Isabella, not Joe Messer.
right? How you doing, guys? And Terry, knives and man stuff. Been enjoying his channel too.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff coming out. He's got a lot of case knives on the go at the moment. Really nice stuff.
Yes, indeed. Go check out Terry's knives and man stuff if you haven't already.
Okay.
Make sure you're checking out Mike Curtis too. Loads of case knives.
If you don't follow Mike Curtis, I don't know what you're doing. He does shorts, but his collection is
you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not following.
Yeah,
Mike.
I mean, even if he only does one short per knife, he's going to have what, like 900 plus shorts.
Yeah, I look forward to all of them. Every one of them, Mike.
Yeah.
900 shorts. 900.
I want them all done in one day. Your whole collection overview in one day.
Yeah, get on it, Mike. Get on it. No, yeah, I've really been enjoying both of their channels, and good to see Jess in here too. He was our winner last week of our giveaway, so he got his knife, and said he really liked it. I think there was some other knife that he ended up giving away that he had and replaced it with the knife that he won, so that was cool. And yeah, so did your participant get his prize?
Yeah,
Stu?
Elan.
Stu?
Elan got it. He messaged me. He said he really enjoys it. He actually picked up case Sodbuster. He was unhappy with the fit and finish. He said compared to the Imperial, he said the fit and finish was like there's no comparison. So I think he's actually planning on selling that case Sodbuster back because it was so poor, which is upsetting, really. I mean, it's not great. They're sending that stuff out. That's
unfortunate, but that seems to be one of the patterns they're having the most problem with, like getting the fit and finish right on them. But it could be because they're like the more inexpensive ones, so they're taking less care with it. I don't know.
Yeah. But along with that as well, I always find the bone ones, because obviously they don't want to crack the bone when they're putting it together, do they?
No.
And you're not going to be able to wallop the pins in to make them tight as you are on a sort of
even with the synthetic ones, because I was wanting to say that Jersey had sort of a little experiment. He ended up buying like 3 green handle ones, the green synthetic ones, before he could find a good one. I had to send a number of them back. So there's no guarantee, even with synthetic handles, they're going to come.
I just wish they'd sort of up their game a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of companies have, and I think it's about time they did as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think collectors are pretty frustrated with them at times.
It's annoying. But the average sort of user is kind of just like, yeah, I'm just going to use it, so it doesn't matter. And it's sort of us that sort of suffers for it.
Yeah, exactly. Just your average man buying a knife.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we have for the first? Well, it's the only slide, I guess.
The slide.
This
is our sort of our sort of topics to go through, sort of for our knife collection considerations. There's quite a few on there, but all of them I think are just as valid as the other one. Don't you agree?
Well, I just Mike says here that he very rarely gets a bad case knife, but that's fortunate, I think. Or I don't know if he's buying them in person all the time, but I hope that's great. So, I mean, I'm glad that that people are able to find the good ones, but they always send me the ones that other people didn't want, I think. I don't know.
I will say I've been very lucky with my case knives. I don't think I've got any that have got really bad gapping. Some of them are not as centered, but I've pretty much counted my days before I get one that's awful, because I've had so many good ones. I'm sort of getting a bit concerned about the next one I buy. Just waiting for my number to come up.
Jess says Shepherd of the Hills gets mad if you ask to inspect a knife in store.
Why?
I had not heard that before. So that'll be interesting because I think I'm going to end up going there at some point. It's not that far away. It's in Missouri, so it's only a couple states away.
See,
Well, we'll
if I
see.
wanted to pick one up in person, I would want to inspect it. Like, I picked a couple up from Heine Haynes, and Richard there is always just like, "Do you want to look at it first?" "Yes, please. Thanks."
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not happy with it, he'll go and get another one, and I'll just take the one I'm happy with. So I don't understand. You obviously don't want to buy a good one. It's not letting you view the knife if you've gone, especially gone there in person. It's a bit out of order, really.
Yeah, so Mike says he uses SMKW and then he buys them direct from Case. So, yeah, no excuse. They're going to have to stay, comes from them. It needs to be in good shape. Hi, Byron. Welcome to the live, sir. All right, so let's look at this first little bullet point here. He says, how having a knife channel changes your collection. Well, it does because I want to be able to provide you guys with a lot of different options for budget knives for me. So, I'll buy more than one knife of one particular pattern, probably more than I would otherwise.
Same
Now,
with me, really.
that being said, I can't say that about the sow bellies. I'd have done that anyway. But yeah,
Really?
yeah, probably so. And I just, I don't know that I need like 47 copperheads, but that's what'll happen on the channel because I'm trying to provide you guys with a lot of different options and things like that. But yeah, it changes it. It changes it because you have to take considerations for what you want to show people and what you think people be interested in watching and seeing. So for that reason,
I always pick up the new sort of series as well. I always pick up a couple from the new series. I tend to buy two that I really sort of like the pattern of, and I sort of try a different one out. And that's what I did with Congress. So I've got a couple of little Congresses now. I did that first with the tortoise shell series. I bought a Congress. So I want to see what that was like. And I ended up really liking it.
Yeah, but that's not something that most people have to concern themselves with. So that's kind of a unique consideration for, people making
that's a YouTuber problem.
Yeah, that's a YouTuber problem.
100% a YouTuber problem.
Yeah. But the next one, that involves everyone as far as I'm concerned, and that is managing your budget for knives. The method for that seems to be vast, from what I can tell. We get a lot of input and things that we see on the Discord, so we kind of get a lot of feedback from that, and also just from comments and things. We can kind of see like how people go about buying their knives, and I feel like people have got a lot larger budget than I, and that's fine because everybody's going to have their own.
Everyone's different.
Yeah. We've seen how Patty's has transformed, if you want to give one example. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, so my budget's my budget changed. So the start of the year, I sort of progressed in my company and managed to get paid a little bit more in the different positions. So my budget's increased a little bit, but it's not made like my purchasing any really different. I just got a little bit more extra spending money to spend on what I like. But I always sort of set myself a budget for the month of what I want to spend, and I try and stick to it as well as possible, I would say. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I'm way under it. It just depends what I buy in a month. But I try and set myself like a certain amount to stick to. And I always find that's one of the best ways to go about it. If you don't want to overspend what you can afford, that's a bad way of getting yourself in debt. And I mean, no one wants that, do they?
No. But I will say I usually go over more than I go under.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can probably say 1 month in 12 I've gone under.
Right. So then it seems like when I go over, I feel like I gotta save, and then I save and save. So I might save for 3 weeks or something, not buy much, and then all of a sudden it just explodes, because it's like, oh well, there's so much I didn't buy that now I want to get this, that, and the other. So it's hard.
My sort of buying habits are really weird as well for knives. I might go like a week and a half, not buy anything, and then buy like 5 or 6 in a day, and then I could buy like 12 knives in 2 days and then not buy anything for a month. It's never sort of spread out across the month. It's just like all or nothing.
Yeah, that tends to be the case too, because like with Chicago Knifeworks, where I order frequently from, you got to have $100 ordered to get the free shipping. And I again like buying from Chicago Knifeworks because they don't charge the tax. Um, it takes a little longer sometimes, but overall, it makes it more affordable for me. So I typically go that route. But if I'm buying 100 and I'm buying some budget knives, that can be quite a few knives.
And
So
you're being fully blamed down here as well.
yeah, I blame TK for now owning 14 plus Rough Riders. Yeah, I know it, right?
Mike has the same problem.
I know it. Always go over. It's bad. But I just end up cutting in other ways. Like I've talked about it in the past. Then I'm not lying when I say it that I like budgeted my food, costs to make up for the extra that I've spent in months.
Yeah, who does that?
But Brian says doesn't matter your budget. Got to be careful. It can get away from you in a hurry.
Yeah, it can.
Really can.
So I put myself on knife bans every so often. Like I'll stop looking at websites for a couple of days because I've gone on some sort of spree. But rather than working my budget out to what I get in a month, I sort of set myself a budget each day. So for food, because obviously if I go to the office, I spend more on food than I would if I was at home. Bits and pieces like that. So I do it daily. And then say, for example, if I don't spend too much for like 4 or 5 days, I'll save whatever's I've left from those days and put it into the knife budget.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, since people are kind of saying, that we're being blamed for people spending money. What was the last knife you bought when you were influenced by something on YouTube? Would it have been the sow belly, or would you not? Would you have said you probably bought that anyway?
What, the case sow belly?
Yeah.
I think. Well, you showed me the link and I wanted to buy it, so I would say yes. But we did buy it on the same day, did we not? Well, I have to order mine, so we ordered.
Yeah, you contacted your guy. Yeah.
Yeah, my guy.
Same day.
Yeah.
Same day. Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. If you hadn't sent me the link, I probably wouldn't have found this until it was too late.
Oh, I'm a horrible influence.
So blame TK.
All right.
But the sow belly collection is 100% your fault.
Well, show the little keychain knife, because this is what I just got influenced by.
Oh, the Awanata.
If that's how you say it, yeah. Yep, I just ordered one of those myself, so I got one of those on the way. What a neat little knife, right?
It really is. It's so simple. Just 2 bits of G10.
It reminds me a lot of a smaller. God, why am I drawing a blank? Hello, elephant toe. Sorry, yeah. Like a smaller, like a baby elephant.
I think one of the reasons you'll really like it as well is the TK approved pull. Like it's at least a 7.
Yeah.
And for such a small knife, I think that's great. Yeah. And it's small enough to go on your keys as well. Like it's not huge compared to like a normal size key. I think I measured it about 3 inches total length, including the lanyard.
Yeah, it just fits a really good roll, right? Like it's not so dainty that you feel like you can't use it.
It's sort of between the 58mm and then carrying a full size knife, isn't it? It fits that sort of niche that didn't really have anything in it before.
Right. Yeah, and then that the back end of it just like you got to put that on a keychain, right? Like big old.
Yeah, and I actually really like one of the things. The only one of the things I don't like about Victorinox is the little flimsy keychains they have.
Yeah.
I get why they're doing it, so you can have tools this end as well. But I think because this is actually integral to the part of the spring.
Right.
It just makes it a lot more sturdy. I'm not going to be concerned that it's going to fall off. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it enough, so I got myself a red one coming. So thanks, Slippy. Your fault.
It was red. Obviously, it was red.
Right. So yeah, it's fun to let yourself slide a little bit from time to time, but you got to reel it in. I mean, You can't go broke.
No.
And I'd hate to think that I was in any way part of making anyone go broke. That would make me feel horrible. So hopefully that is not occurring out there right now.
No, I like to think my my channel and the stuff I sort of provide is not to force you to buy it. It's like a gentle push. It's like, I like this. Yeah.
Yeah. You could be persuasive without being demanding. You know, that's not,
Well,
I don't know, but that's not my that's never been my
No.
my idea of what I'm doing for the channel. It's always been, here's this item, I like it, see what you think of it. If you like it too, then buy it. Right? I used to have money until I met TK. Yeah. See, Lockback Larry.
I wonder who this is. Who's Lockback Larry?
I can't imagine who that might be. We're on to you, buddy.
We know who you are.
Yeah, he wanted to change names today. All right.
Bring back Sodbuster Steve.
Managing the size of your collection, storing the boxes, and so forth. All right. So do you keep all your boxes?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I keep the ones I want to keep. So my Rough Rider collection, my early Rough Rider collection, because I wasn't really into keeping the boxes. I don't have a lot of the earlier ones I collected, but I'd say since I started a channel, I probably have about 90% of the boxes I've collected.
Okay.
All my Victoria boxes I have, all my case knife boxes I have. A lot of my modern slip joint knives I didn't bother keeping because they're just for me to use and abuse. That's why I pretty much see my modern folders as now. As I've really sort of evolved into more I know I've always said I carry everything, but certain things like this, I have 100% bought just to be in a collection, along with a couple of other case knives and bits and pieces like that. So I've really evolved more into, I have maybe 5 or 6 knives that I'll carry religiously, and then more towards a collection now.
Right.
But yeah, all the boxes I can keep, I do. Obviously, storage is quite a bit of a big problem for me at the moment. I haven't got that much room to store stuff. But I did find quite a good solution there. All those carry cases we talked about last week when we did how we sort of store our collections, I've used those to store my boxes in, if that makes sense. So a foldable case, I've stacked all the boxes inside. So that's sort of solved it a little bit. And then I've got these little cubby holes on top of my wardrobe that I've sort of just stacked them all up there at the way. But yeah, I'd say, since I started the channel, so March, I go about 90% of the boxes that I normally would have. But that's just my collection is just.
Well, I've found even with a lot of knives, I really only have a problem when the boxes come in these styles. That's where the space starts to become a concern.
That's literally the problem. It's those Rough Rider knives are a pain.
Yeah. These larger boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like this tool chest, the box that it came in.
Oh, and you got them in that.
It's now 98% full with these Rough Rider boxes.
Do you know what's worse, though, than the Rough Rider boxes?
What's that?
The new Marbles Exhibition Series boxes.
Oh, yeah. One of those to show you.
Yeah.
This big monster here.
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But, you know.
Kandra, if I kept boxes, I need a new house with more closets. Yeah. I think I might have to hire a storage unit to put them in.
Trust me, it's a problem. It's a problem. But I'm not going to not keep the boxes. So that's just me, though.
The way I look at it, the more collectible knives or like the ones I really like, I keep the boxes for. Some of the ones I bought just to use, I don't really bother, but I'm not going to resell them. I've abused them. I don't want to sell someone a knife or give away a knife I've used and, it looks awful. Like I've got a load of Rough Rider knives that I sort of carry regularly, and I would never sort of pass that one on to anyone. That's for me to continue to use.
Yeah, and to me, it's like you were saying earlier. There's only probably probably about 45, 50 knives now that I kind of rotate through. That number has grown because there's become knives that now I want to carry that I buy, that I don't just want to collect or have. And so I'll convince myself that there's a reason enough to carry it, and then so now I have probably a larger rotation than I did originally, because I did limit it pretty good at the very beginning. But now I'd say there's probably over 50 knives that I'm rotating through, and yeah, it's okay. I still keep the boxes for everything. If you sell it as used at some point later down the road, people are probably going to want the box. So I just keep the boxes.
Like, yeah, especially me. Oh, North Star's here. Hello, Ray.
Hey, North Star.
But yeah, with me, like if I'm buying a set knife off a secondary, I would like the box with it.
Right. Even if it was used, just so you kind of have the complete package there. But I don't know. I think it just adds to the appeal whenever if you're looking and somebody has a used knife that's got the box and one without, and they're about equal in condition, which one are you gonna buy? You know, probably one with the box, right?
Plus, if it's going to come in the box, there's more chance it's going to come to you in one piece.
I think it just goes back to my mentality of collecting other things, where it was always necessary to have the complete thing.
Yeah.
You know, to be everything, the packaging, everything be complete. And just collectibles in general. So I've always kept the boxes. I know people don't care, a lot of them, but I know when I bought recently that gun stock, and it didn't have the sleeve, but it had the tin. Now I much prefer to have both, you know, to have the whole thing, because it has the barcode on it, right? So now I had to go and look up all the info on it for like what the barcode was to present it and everything. So there's always some reason why I'd like to have the whole thing. Yeah. But Mike says always buy, never sell. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've only ever sold a couple, and that was to Easy C. He wanted a couple of things that I had. I felt like, you know, why not? I don't need everything. So I have sold him a couple.
I'm trying to think how many knives I've actually sold. It's not a big number. I think it's actually one. And that was
because you were gonna sell me this, and then you just ended up giving it.
Yeah, I felt better just giving them away. I don't want to sell them. I just give them away. They're not getting used.
Yeah, but you had a couple up on the sanitary.
Yeah, I put a couple on there. I'd probably just end up giving them away, to be honest. But the only one I've sold was a GEC. It was that elephant toe. That
the elephant one. Yeah. Mikey. Okay.
That was it. I don't think I've sold anything else.
But yeah, I don't have anything against selling stuff. It's just, I tend to think that if I bought it, that's probably why I wanted it. If I bought it, then I wanted it.
Now, Easy C, you've just given away your identity with that comment.
That's not true. Get this troll off of my chat. And sell anything broke. Anyway, all right. What's the next thing? The size. Well, I guess we didn't really talk too much about the size, but I mean, that kind of all goes together, right? If you get too many, then maybe you have to make room. And I know Patty's talked a lot about this, where he sold off a bunch of his stuff, and now
he's limited his collection to about 200 knives. I think. I know that seems a lot to a lot of people. Some not. Mike, who's got like 900 knives.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, some people like what Paddy does. You know, they keep ones they like, and if they want to get something else, they move something else on to replace it with. For me, it's just sort of like, I bought this and I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, it's kind of my mentality.
My collection space is getting inconvenient. Is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, the only thing I can think I maybe sell some knives for is if there's just something that's so high in price that I can't otherwise afford it.
Yeah.
That I have to somehow generate some income. That would be the only way that I think I would buy something like that. You know, a massive investment style knife where we're talking 300 plus, you know. And I think the most I've ever spent on a knife is probably about $240, something like that.
What was that?
One of the customs.
Oh, yeah.
Buck customs.
Most I spent was the Jack Wolf knife Javelina, $280.
Oh, okay.
But I had to save up for a couple of weeks. It's like with not buying anything else to be able to afford that. If I wanted to buy it outright without saving, I'd have to sell off some stuff. It's not I can't sort of drop that every month.
Yeah, Joe says 200 seems like a lot until you start counting, and then it doesn't seem very much, does it?
Yeah, no, I had that problem. I thought I had about 200 knives, and I counted the other day, and it's more like 300.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah, it's I just can't seem to help myself, to be honest.
I don't want to know the number now. I've gotten to the point where I know it's a very high number. I have a range in mind in my head of where I think it is. I could be completely up wrong. I don't really know, but it's probably upwards past 600 now. So I don't really want to know what the number is, honestly. It says quick poll. What's the most you've ever spent on a knife? Yeah. So I said about 240 is about what my max was. 250 for Stacy. Yeah. 300 is the tipping point, says Zen.
Mike, why don't you tell us how much you spent on some of the case knives at the event? We would love to know. Because I know you told me, I know how much you spent on one of the knives. I know
Yeah, what's the max? What's the max that Mike has spent?
Here we go.
$700 for one knife, or for the lot of the knives that he bought?
One.
One knife. Okay.
Mike's not messing around. He probably
what
dropped
was
it
the
in
knife
cash as well.
Do you know what it was?
I think it was a Bose.
Oh, a Tony Bose. Okay, really rare one.
I'm sure he did tell me. Forgive me, Mike. I've forgotten because my brain's like a sieve. But if you could just pop it in the chat what you bought.
So Randy says 90 shipped for his most.
But again, that goes back to what our budgets are. Like, if that's your max budget, excellent. Don't go above it. Like, there was one point where I would refuse to spend more than £50, which is about $65 on a knife. And then,
at the beginning, absolutely.
Yeah. And then a couple of months later, I find myself dropping 300 on a Jack Wolf knife.
Things change. It certainly changes over time.
Joe says most he spent is 475 to 500. Brian, same as me, 300 on a Jack Wolf.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I see it. I totally see it. Knife buying hurdles. Yeah, spousal approval. I don't really have a problem with that, but I know a lot of guys do. My wife's incredibly understanding, and we kind of early on, just told each other, when it comes to the things like that, hobbies, things that you want, as long as you're not going to
cause an issue,
damage the budget, that we can't pay the bills or become, in a tight situation where that's just not something you can even consider, then we manage our own budgets independently and we don't worry too much about it. I've got my kind of little pool of money that I can spend, and she's got her little pool of money that she can spend, and we don't go beyond that. And if we do, then, we've got to come up with a way to otherwise find income to make up for the difference. So like I say, I'll budget myself with food or something like that, right? So I never go too much over, nothing that I can't do in a month's time to make up for. But yeah, we just don't really interfere with one another. We just sort of have that understanding. But I know that's not always the case with other couples and things. So maybe just get some feedback here about, how do people manage the spousal approval thing, or, what do they do to make sure that everybody's copacetic with the situation at hand, how much money you're spending. So Bill says that his wife spent $200 on a knife for him. So, there's an example of that. Well, nice gift there. So, yeah.
For me, I don't want to use the word lucky because I don't really see it as lucky, but you could just be the most single person on the planet and then you don't have the problem of the spousal approval or constraints. Because I just go, knife, buy. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, that's not a consideration at that point. But when you have sort of a family budget. Larry, still married. Lies. I get what I can when I can. Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at, Stacy. I just get what I can when I can.
I get to spend as much as she spends on QVC.
Oh, there's the compromise.
Yeah, but I think that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You get to both spare the same amount. But I know it's in different sort of ways. Maybe not even saying that your partner's not happy with you spending this much money. It could be that, you need to set yourself a limit because you might have household income bills to pay for. Say you've got kids or whatever, or medical bills or stuff you've got to pay for. It's got to work in a way that's going to make your collecting. I'm going to use the word safe for you because you don't want to end up spending ridiculous amounts and getting in debt because no one wants that.
Yeah.
Stay within your means. Don't be crazy.
Stay within your means. 100%. We don't want anybody going broke watching our channel. That would be absolutely devastating to me because I would feel very guilty.
Yeah. I just want you to watch all my videos and comment. You don't have to buy the knife. Just watch all my videos and comment. That's all I ask.
Too many hoops. Yeah. So that goes back to the GEC thing for me. Like, it's a convenient excuse to not buy them because there's a lot of hoops, but they're really expensive and I wouldn't be able to buy that many anyway. But
yeah,
the hoops just make it that much more easy to talk myself out of it, because if I have to go and spend an hour online waiting for something to drop or try to get my credit card information in like 0.42 seconds, where I'm going to miss out. It's just not all.
I tried to avoid knife drops at all costs. I'm not interested in trying to rush to buy something. It's too much stress for me. No, pass up.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit my personality. I want to be able to get it on my own time, and if I have to do stuff like that, it's a turn off for me, and it makes me not want the knife.
Sorry, John, but Mike has come up with the perfect solution about the spousal approval.
Yes, get your wife to collect. Hey, I've done that with other things. I have, so I know how that works.
Bully her into collecting. Oh, you really like these as well? Bye.
I have got my wife a few knives, and she's actually asked for a couple. Gonna get one for Christmas. Like, I'll tell you guys, but I can't tell her. But she wanted the lavender A-locks. Swiss Army.
The little 58 mil?
Yeah, the little 58 classic SD in lavender. So I'm gonna get her that one. So she does like them, but just not at the level that I do, obviously. But yeah,
not the same extent.
Yeah. So Bill says again, comes back to budget mutually approved. That's essentially it. The problem is when you mutually approve each other to the point where you go broke. You go broke. Yeah, you can get that $1,000 item. So can you? Because I just spent $1,000. So you can spend $1,000. That becomes a problem.
And then you're eating ramen noodles for a month because you can't afford anything
you're not
else.
Eating ramen noodles. You're living in a cardboard box hoping somebody gives you ramen noodles. But all right. So what's next we got here? Buying more expensive versus cheaper. We kind of covered that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
For the channel, I'm always going to buy some budget knives. People are always going to be able to turn to my channel for affordable knives. Now, does that mean I'm going to do every knife review as a budget knife? No. Because I want to have some range there for everyone to enjoy at a different level. And for people that have been collecting a long time, the budget stuff probably doesn't entertain them in the same way that a case knife or something more expensive does. So I understand that, and so that's why I kind of try to blend my channel.
I'd say we're very similar on that. Yeah. On that sort of front, we have similar interests, similar taste in knives. It's pretty much the same as John. Do I just do budget knives now? I've got high-end knives in there, sort of middle of the range knives in there, but it just my channel just depends on what I'm feeling at the time when I'm doing the review. So maybe I want to do a Swiss Army knife. It's not sort of like, oh, I've got this, I want to do a review. It's like, what do I fancy doing at the time? But yeah, that sort of impacts my buying, and it's hard to say what my sort of buying habit will be. It's just whatever I sort of interested in at that particular time.
Yeah. It also has like what's the thing out there right now that you want. Sometimes that's an inexpensive thing. So
whoa. So read this comment.
Is she okay? Fantastic.
And then read this comment.
Has she really?
What's the channel name, Mike? I want to check it out.
We got to check that out. Make sure you sub to Mrs. C here, guys.
Post the link. Yeah. I don't know if Mike will be able to post the link because
just tell us the name of the channel, then we'll be able to navigate that.
Hang on. Can I solve that very quickly? No, I cannot.
Yeah, is it just called Mrs. C? Mrs. C case? But yeah, I just feel like whatever's available at the time is kind of what determines what I'll want to spend, right? Mrs. C 99. There you go. So like if you know, like the new Rough Rider that just came out, the one I just reviewed, the Appaloosa. Now that's a really nice knife, but it only cost you $17-18. So yeah, the fact that I wanted it really had nothing to do at all with the price. It was just super affordable. And
honestly, it's one. I think it's probably the best knife. Well, at least one of the top 10 that Rough Rider have brought out for value for money, style, and quality control. It's pretty much unbeatable.
Yeah, it's a double thumbs up for me. So anytime I do a review and you see a double thumbs up, that's my strongest recommendation. That's the strongest recommendation I can give, right? And I don't do that for every knife. So if you see that, that should be raise an eyebrow to the. That's just fantastic, crazy good for $17. Just stupid good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of more determines that. Now, I was going to go on this trend of buying a Christmas knife every year, and that was going to be like my custom buck. So that's kind of like one of my little gifts to myself over the course of the year. I'll save up just enough to get that custom buck. So, every December, I order before the deadline so that I can get it for Christmas, which is about now, really. Now is about the time. If you want to get a custom buck and have it delivered before Christmas, you better start thinking about it.
What is it, about a 6 week window?
Yeah, it slows down as it gets closer to Christmas. But they kind of give you like the last day that you can order type thing. And I think right now it's about 2 weeks out. So
I am sure I saw it somewhere. Maybe it was on their Instagram. They posted like deadline for custom before Christmas coming up or something like that.
Yeah, so I've definitely already hit it because I took advantage of their 15% sale or whatever it was, 10% sale, whatever it was.
Well, you're gonna make it. That's a hefty amount off. And
yeah, it was a lot. Made a big difference. So I did that. But so I already got my Christmas knife early.
Has it arrived yet?
I won't reveal what it is.
Has it arrived yet?
I've shown it. I just haven't talked about it. I've shown it though. When we did the Knife Wars, I've shown it. But I just didn't mention that it was new, or I just tried to kind of slide it in there without
slide it and not say anything about
it. Try to be slick about it. Okay, so what's next? We have buying to use versus buying to collect. Well, we talked about that a little bit too. So
I've gone completely the opposite. I was buying to use most of my collection, as I said at the start. And for me now, I'm now buying to collect.
Now I'm kind of reversing my trend. Mine where I'm buying more to use, less to collect. So I think it's got to be 50 plus knives now I'm rotating around. So yeah, it wasn't as large earlier on. Now I would carry them, but it would be like gentle use type thing. And now I've just stopped doing that altogether. Like the ones I'm going to carry, I just don't worry about the amount of use. So I would gentle carry some stuff, but now I just kind of put that stuff away. If I feel like I'm any fear of breaking it or damaging it, nope, just doesn't get used at all.
Yeah. So this is actually one of the knives I will carry. This is the case sow belly, but because it's in that synthetic handle, I'm not too worried. Like I know it can take a bit of abuse, the handle.
Yeah.
But I have a select. I think there's about 10 knives maybe I've got in a sort of separate drawer themselves of what I will carry for now. And I'd probably rotate them out with other stuff eventually. But yeah, I've done a complete 180 on that sort of topic.
Yeah, because I can't imagine. Well, when you used the Jack Wolf, I was a little set. I was shocked by that. I was like, okay.
Oh, that's in there. That's one of the knives in there.
Yeah. So it doesn't even necessarily have to do with like the price, because you're using like some of your most expensive ones.
Yeah. Like that Jack Wolf knife is 100% in there because of the steel, the pattern, the micarta handles are grippy. It's a great work knife. I love it for that. because it holds an edge for about 84,000 years before I need to even bother stropping it.
Right. Right. Oh, Slippy Pommels with the Jack Wolf?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything. The bolsters are all scratched up.
Yeah.
Not bothered with it at all. Happy to just use it.
Okay. Just uses it away. Randy says I have a hard time using a $50 knife. Well, when your budget, is topped out at like 90, we completely understand that.
Oh, that's the thing, Randy. Everyone's different. Like when I first bought the Jack Wolf, I didn't want to use it so much as I was worried about damaging it. But it's designed to be a working knife, isn't it? I know it's a high-end slip joint, but it's designed to be a working knife.
There's a really rare one. See, that's more what I want to do with the future of my collection, is kind of get more into the older stuff and more of the stuff that's not as easy to obtain. But here's a good comment here. It says, buy two, one to use, one to collect. That's Tobias. Tobias's kind of motto. And that can be said for some of the less expensive knives, but there's no way I'm buying $200-$300 knives that are identical and then using one. So, yeah. And this is Candace says only use I have is opening in mailboxes. Okay, only use I have is opening mailboxes. So I mean, yeah,
to be honest,
that's fine if you're not gonna heavy use it.
Yeah, because of my job, I work at a computer in an office doing different bits and pieces, so I'm not sort of using the knife all day long. But on the weekend, if I'm in the garden or if I'm like building something with my family or whatever, I'll use the knives, but I'll pick the ones that can withstand that. And then the days that I'm not going to be doing certain stuff, like I'm carrying that sow belly today because I'm not doing anything major. So right. I'll sort of pick and choose depending on what I know I'm going to be doing on the day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. Mike says he carries a custom case Sodbuster Jr. every day. So, that was probably an expensive knife, I'd imagine. Maybe not like ridiculous, but it was probably 3 digits, I would imagine. So just carry whatever you'd like. But I try to remain pretty reasonable about the expensive knives staying clean and untouched. All right, so what else we got here? Buying for quantity versus quality. I think all of us kind of transition into more of the quality knives as the more we collect.
Yeah.
That's kind of been what Patty's done. I've seen that transition. I've seen you do it. I've seen myself do it. Early on, I was doing a lot of exploring with less expensive knives to kind of find out what it is that I like. Now I'm a little past that phase. So now I know what I like, and now I want, the higher quality stuff to
100%. Same here. It's like I had a few Stockmans, like I wanted to try those. Maybe I remember my first Stockman was a Rough Rider, the Smooth Blue Bone, I think. Liked it, and now I have more Stockmans than anything else in my collection. But then other patterns, I maybe only have one of, but I bought it and wasn't a massive fan.
Yeah. As far as like collecting for value, the idea of collecting for value is a little bit of a turnoff for me. I'm not too preoccupied with, like something appreciating in value. I just like what I like. And if it happens to go up in price, I'm not going to complain. But I know some people buy strictly because they want a particular knife to invest in that's going to give them a return on investment. So to me, like the value is really only important if your intention is at some point to sell the stuff. Otherwise, why does it matter? So, or I guess if you're going to pass it on to your loved ones and they're going to end up getting rid of it for you or something. But I don't concern myself too much with that. What about you?
No, not really. I don't think I buy anything to appreciate in value. Most of my stuff is I buy because I like it. Pretty much the same as you, I'd say. Yeah. Like if it goes up in value and maybe I want to sell my collection on one day, great. If it doesn't, oh well.
Yeah, I just don't worry too much over it. I don't really have any control over the appreciation of it anyway. I know that if you bought, I see all the prices for some of this GE stuff, and I really don't think that the prices that some people are paying for the secondary market stuff is worth what they're paying. Because if I look at it like, okay, well, the knives can't be any older than 2006. That's when they started. I get that they're very hard to come by and the demand is there, and that's why the value is what it is. But I could see that being very fleeting, right? Like long term, I don't know how good a quality investment that is. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I think there's some risk involved there if you're trying to do that, and that's just not for me. I'm risk averse when it comes to that sort of thing. I'm not going to invest in something that's only like 18 years old or whatever to try to have appreciating value. I'd much rather buy like a high end old piece from the mid 19th century or something, or 18th,
Yeah.
20th century, I guess.
Yeah, I'd like when I bought that Remington jackknife I've got from the 30s, I'd much rather that. And I didn't pay anywhere near what a GEC is at the moment for that.
No, you probably even got a good value for what.
Well, I bought it for £30.
Okay, well, see, even then, you're probably didn't pay what it was worth. But
well, no, I actually Mike's Knives in the UK, the one that sells the GECs, is the only registered in the UK. He has a friend that does valuations for knives, and he said it was worth about $150.
okay,
So, but I've no
There you go.
intention. I've no intention of selling it. I don't want to. I love it.
Right.
It was mainly just to see. I was interested in what it was be. It's not in the best condition. The blades are a bit used, but there's nothing wrong with it. I was just interested to see what it would go for if I was to sell it, but I've no intention of selling it whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, just curiosity. That's all it is for me. I don't really care. Collecting a certain pattern versus pattern variety. I'll go first on this, but I've got both. I do both. I like to collect one particular pattern,
What pattern
like
is that,
in the
John?
sow belly, obviously, and then I like to also have a variety. So, like, I intentionally buy things that I don't already have. I try to kind of widen the, I guess, the width of my collection, where I have just a ton of different things to try out. I like to try out new knives, find out if they work for me or not. So yeah, I like pattern variety a lot. What about you?
At the start, I was more buying for pattern variety because I was in that sort of starting a collection mindset of what do I like. I'd say now I'm more buying a certain type of pattern. Like as I mentioned, Stockmans have sort of exploded into my collection.
Yeah.
Particularly sow bellies. I'd say it's sort of 70-30 towards buying a certain pattern.
Okay.
But I still buy knives. Still buy different knives.
Now that you've said it that way, I guess I am in that same category a little bit, but because I know what I like more than I used to. But at the same time, I'm still very open to trying out things that I haven't already tried.
Yeah.
But the things that I do like, do have a more, of a tendency to buy continuously those things. So it's sort of a balance, a little bit of balance there.
If a Rough Rider new series comes out, I know straight away I'm going to be like, has it got a Stockman? Has it got a sow belly? I will buy those first and then get whatever else afterwards. That's my always sort of go-to.
Well, just one example, like we can give, like they're coming out with that red smooth bone long rifle series, and that's going to have a sow belly in it.
All over that.
That's like
every day I refresh that for sale page on SMKW to order it every day.
So we know that's like an immediate. It's an immediate buy for me, right? So there's going to be things like that. Okay, what's next? We got supporting one brand versus all brands. Again, I kind of do both a little bit. I like a handful of brands that I'll buy repetitively.
Yeah,
because I know I like them, and then there's going to be others that I want to try out. Like I have never had a Moki, right? There's Western knives that I would love to have. There's a lot of other brands that don't exist anymore, for example, that I'd love to try out. I don't have a Shatton Morgan, things like that. So there's definitely, some patterns or brands of knives that I don't own that I definitely want to try. So I will say that I'm open to trying out more and more brands. And of course, obviously, if new ones come out, then that would be something I'd look at. But I think, like as far as introducing new brands, you're much more of concern for you if you're a modern knife collector, because there's always a new brand of modern knives. Like, seems like every day a new one pops up.
Weirdly,
So,
Mike Curtis has said mostly one brand.
yeah, I wonder what that brand is.
I'm pretty much the identical to you on this one. I've got, I'd say about 4 or 5 brands as well that I sort of are my go-to sort of brands. Like off the top of my head, Case, Rough Rider, Victorinox. I'd say they're my 3 sort of go-to that I know I will like something they have without a doubt. I've got some buck knives as well, Real Steel, Kaiser, loads of different brands, but I have like 3 or 4 main ones that I know I will go to every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jess says he only has 31. So
Well, only
31.
That's more than me.
Yeah, and I do have other brands. Yeah, like Zen. I know he's big. You're big into Case, right? But you like Bokers too. So he's got specific case ones what he looks for, the bone, stag, and ebony handles. So that's kind of the determining factor is the handle material. Yeah. So yeah, then that's a cool way to collect as well.
Yeah. Collect by the handle material rather than anything else about it, which is it's quite different from a lot of people, isn't it? It's a unique way. You're going for the I don't want to say like the higher end handle materials, but like the more styled handle materials, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the natural handle materials always seem to be more popular with collectors,
Yeah.
I think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't think so, but synthetics, they're more for work knives for me. They're, get thrown around. There's a perfect example. Just never going to have to worry about that getting busted up.
No, not for the price of it. It's such a bargain.
But Andrew says Rosecraft, Case, Rough Rider, and Buck. Yeah, those are in my wheelhouse too. But I'm not, I still look outside that too. Like I said, I'd still love to have a Moki. That's been on my list for a long time. I don't know why I've waited so long to get one. I need to get one, but the money.
Do I need to go back to Mike's comment where he says buy, always buy?
Buy, always buy.
Buy it.
Right. Yeah, and Byron says, I love listening to everyone's collection size. I've limited myself to a total of 30 knives. One another must sell or donate. Keeps it fresh, enjoyable, and spouse safe. Yeah, I completely get that. And that goes back to like space, You don't want to overextend yourself space-wise. And 30 is probably a good number because it gives you a good amount to kind of cycle through still. But I don't know if I'd want to limit myself to 30. That's a little too light for my taste, but yeah, whatever works for you, man. Whatever works for you. It says, hey, DK, do you have an email address? Yeah, Face Blue Smiling. Yeah, I do. It's pretty simple. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, it's jackass@gmail.com.
Not quite. Though the adjective is correct. Just not the address. There we go. thriftycaniffy@gmail.com. When that pops up, I'll put it up there. There we go. There you go. So, yeah, that's I don't know. It just to me is like is a really fun topic to talk about because that one is kind of all over the place. I don't think there's any consistency to that particular topic.
No, it's all over the shop. Everyone's different. It's not sort of like, how do you store your knives? There's only a certain amount of ways where you can really store a knife. It's not like this topic is so different for every single person. It sort of depends.
Yeah, dang, ebony's hard to come by. Yeah, it is. It really is. Not a whole lot of them out there. Okay, so what do we got next? We got domestic versus import. Wow, this is a touchy one because people start getting offended real quick when you start talking about China versus USA and stuff.
For me, it doesn't bother me where it comes from as long as it's made well. That's it. If it's made well to a high standard, fit and finish is good. Materials aren't such a big thing for me because I'm not going to be, cutting down a tree with my slip joint. It's just there for like light tasks or whatever. if I want to do something like that, I'll pick an appropriate knife for that. So
Right.
I'm not bothered on blade material, handle material. All I want is the fit and finish to be good, the pull to be decent, the blades to be centered as well as possible. I'm not too fussed if it's an import or it's a USA made. Would I like more to be USA made than made in the UK? 100%. But it doesn't bother me either way. What about you, John?
I'm pretty similar with that. Like, if I need a specific knife for a specific task, I'm gonna buy that knife regardless where it's made for that task, and I'm not gonna bother myself with where. Now, do I want to support a communist country? No, but this is the world we live in, and I don't have control over all the outside parameters. I'm dealt the deck, and then I've just got to use the cards that I'm dealt, and it is what it is. Politically speaking, I feel very similar to many people on the subject. I'm not going to get into any depth with it, but I just want people to know that, yes, I want to support American made knife companies, and I do buy American made knives. Now,
we both do. We both got American made. We both got UK made.
Do I put every dollar into American knives? No, I don't. But I want to also help people get affordable knives, because I know how tough the economy is, and I know what it's like to be blue collar, and I know, how hard people work for their money, and they don't have a massive budget. So if I can help them find knives that they can afford, and even if they're made in China, I feel like I'm still doing a service for American people, and that's where my American, and patriotism lies, is with the people themselves. So hopefully that comes through in my channel. I hope people understand that. Okay, so what else do we have? We have buying for materials. Oh, well, kind of talked about that.
Yeah, we touched on that as well.
I mean,
was it Zen that said he buys for those 3 certain handle materials? Is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Stag, natural bone, and ebony.
Obviously, like, the better the handle material, that's going to draw me to a particular knife over one other, especially if they're similar in price. So I do buy for materials, but I don't get too carried away with like blade choice or blade steels. I do kind of limit myself now. I won't buy anything 3CR. I think that's a line too far. That stuff.
Yeah,
it gets to the point it's so soft.
Like,
yeah, it gets to the point it's so soft you can't sharpen it. Well, if you don't have the ability to sharpen a knife, I don't really have much interest in it.
No.
So, yeah, I will say there is a limit, like, to how low a level of quality that I would go on the blade steel. But 440, I found that to work for me. Now, is every 440 created the same? No. I've had varying Rough Riders that don't seem to be the same, even though they're supposed to have the same blade steel. So I guess the heat treat can play a big role in that. Yeah.
It's not even like the sort of the heat treat. It can be done in the same factory if the chemical or the way the metal was completed before, like created before the heat treat. If it's not as good, it's not going to take the heat treat as well.
Well, I mean, you've seen them when they put them in these big trays and they put them through the machines where they heat them and they treat them, right? You could have one that's like closer to the edge. Maybe it gets a little different temperature than one on the middle or, somewhere else on the tray. You could have, one batch be completely, a little different even. So there's just a lot of variables there. You can really have a massive amount of difference necessarily, but you could in the process of it. So you might get one that's an identical knife, but was made a month later or something, and then just something got, something's off. So, but I try to stick to 440 at least. And I like carbon blades when I can get those. I know a lot of people, like, they don't want to buy any kind of case knife unless it's carbon or, CV, or they won't buy the stainless. And I don't really have a problem with the stainless.
No, like that sow belly I'm carrying today is the SS from Case. And I said it in the Discord, if I could buy every knife with a carbon steel, I would. It's just my preference. I love carbon steel.
Right.
But does the stainless steel bother me? Not in the slightest.
Well, for me, it was like, well, I'm not going to buy the single-bladed sow belly just because it has stainless. I wanted that knife. I wanted to try it out. I wanted to see how much I thought I would like it, and I do. So I was very happy to have it. The fact that it has stainless steel is not a concern. I mean, it's like, if I had 5 options and one of them was carbon, I'd probably go after the carbon. But when your options are limited and you don't want to pay aftermarket prices, you get what you get. So I'll take it. Buying for materials. Okay, so knife no-go zone. Yeah, I kind of talked about that a little bit. 3CR. I won't buy 3CR. Like the 420 J2 stuff is probably like the least quality material that I'll buy. I've been told that it's pot metal.
But you say that though. My butt canoe is in the 420 J2, and I think it's great. Mine holds an edge for quite a while.
So again, heat treat, right? Makes a massive difference. And Buck's supposed to know how to do it, so maybe they're doing it right. But I don't know. When it comes to quality control issues, there's going to be a lot of frost knives I refuse to buy. They're just too cheaply made.
I've never had a frost knife. I've never experienced one.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that I've got anything against them. They're not really available here in the UK.
Yeah. Well, there's like I said, I've always said this about frost. I don't buy them a lot for the channel because I don't think that a lot of my viewers want to see that. That's the number one reason why I don't buy them. Number two reason is the inconsistency. I don't know what I'm going to get, so I might buy something that's complete
we've talked
trash.
about them off stream, and you've had some quite varying results of what you've had from frost. You've had some ones that are really nice and some that are not great.
Yeah, so I don't want to play that hit and miss game with them. And like I said, I don't think most people are that interested in them. I've rarely ever hear anybody talk about frost knives. I know a couple of people have had them. I know Toad's had a couple on his channel. I know JO's had a couple on his channel. And maybe Tobias as well. But he has a ton of knives, so I mean, it's more to do with his quantity than the number of frost knives that he's collecting. But they made some good and bad. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't buy one. I have bought one. I bought the little copper lock. I would like to see you start a frost collection. No, you wouldn't, sir. That is a complete troll, and now you're being made to go away. I love you, Cody.
I really like Lockback Larry. I think he's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. You love trolls. Fantastic.
Only because I am one.
Tim's School of Fish is laughing, so you've made someone's day here. Look at this. There it is. Start. Who wants me to start a frost collection? Thumbs up in chat if you want me to start a frost collection. Thumbs down if you don't.
How'd you do an emoji in the chat?
Thumbs down or thumbs up. Or just type thumbs up. Don't have to find the stupid emoticon. Yeah, thumbs up from Tim. Yeah, here we go. Here's the trolls. No, not happening. Go away. Get off the screen. What is going on here? Stacy says yes. Oh, you guys. I swear. No, you don't. You would never want. No, Kurt. Mike, what is this? Look at this garbage. Look what you've done, Larry. Look what you've done here. But nah, I don't know. It's if you get a good one, great. But I don't know. There's like the Choctaw. I've been tempted to try that. Have you seen that knife?
I have not.
It's like a large, very unique shaped.
It's okay, John. Design. You have one supporter for no frost.
Mikey, not interested. Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate that. But yeah, let's keep the thumbs down on there just so other people are blocked out. But the quality of them is just too hit and miss for me. So I don't know. I'm gonna pass on that. Got other budget knives that are just as good for about the same amount of money. I think I'll stick with Rough Riders. So what else you got? Anything else?
Hang on, I've been distracted.
Frosty Kniffy.
My sort of knife no-goes, it's not really any sort of brand. It's sort of, you get them, the non-branded companies that make examples of Victorinox Swiss Army knives and things like that.
Yeah.
That's my sort of no-go. Like, I wouldn't buy anything that's trying to be something else.
Has someone done that recently that we're aware of?
I don't think so, have they?
I thought MB bought a fake.
Oh yeah, he did.
Victorinox.
What was it, the Outrider or something? But he said it was advertised as
Yeah.
a genuine, but I can't remember seeing the advert.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be fooled into buying knockoffs.
But
That's no good.
but yeah, nothing really major that won't get me to go to buying a knife. Maybe I will say those certain patterns is a no go for me. Like
Oh, really?
the Moose, the Rough Rider Moose, really don't like it. The Cotton Sampler, really don't like it.
All right, let's ask the chat. What's a no-go pattern for you guys? Like, just not going to happen.
The toothpick or the toothpick, jackass. I don't mind, but only the small one. I think the large one is stupid. There we go, typing in toothpick on the chat. I can hear you typing. I know what you're doing.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's too easy.
See, Baxter says he's just got his moose. I don't like the pattern, Baxter. I don't understand it.
I just want to let everybody know, like, when I was growing up, my mom always told me to do this. Just, it's one of those morals things. You guys will understand.
You have another supporter, John.
Yes. Always to tell the truth. Oh,
now you see
the tough. Always tell the tough.
See, Tim, not a fan of the Congress. I am. So everyone's different. Right. Like I really got into Congress knives. I've not got many, but I really enjoy the pattern, especially the smaller ones. The large one, not so much.
Hey, Judd. No, I won't do it. No, you don't have to worry about it. Don't do it. Peer pressure is the word. I'm not doing it. Nope. No collection for me. Modern flippers, no go. Yeah, I'm kind of growing in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what? The flipper tab.
The flipper tab really.
The flipper tab is now a dated modern knife feature. If you have a flipper tab on a knife and it gets in the way of cuts where you need to put the blade low down, and you can't because you got a 1/4 inch thumb down there, it makes that blade, useless at the very edge when you're trying to make those types of cuts. So
yeah,
they need to integrate the flipper into the body of the knife so when it's flat when it's open. Yeah, exactly what Larry's saying right there. So yeah, I'm off flippers altogether. I won't buy another.
Oh no, Tim hates the hated knife, John. He likes the hated knife even.
He likes cotton samplers. Well, we didn't ask you what you like. We want to know what one you won't buy. Because I don't want to argue about cotton samplers with you.
Brian, I'm interested. What case small Congress did you buy? What's the quality like, and where are you? Because if you want to sell it, I will buy it from you.
My guess is, one of this year's, vault patterns, right? Oh, you're asking about the handle then?
Candra is pretty much emulating what I think at the moment. I really hate pocket clips. Despise them. I bought that new Boca Tech Tool 1, new Heine Haynes edition. Did a review of the carbon fiber. Had a pocket clip on it. As soon as the review was done, took it off. Hate it. Carrying it like a normal sod buster in a slip. Does my head in.
Yeah, the front flipper was the solution to the no flipper tab, but you cut her finger off opening it.
Yeah, I hate front flippers equally. I think they're awful.
Yeah, it's a bad fix to a problem. It's a bad fix. I don't like front. I mean, it's doable, but they're just not. They're not near as fidget friendly, are they? They're just not. No. I haven't seen that, Stacy. But if it's the integrated type that like takes a 90-degree cut out of the body, and then when you flip it, you can't see that the flipper tab is there because it's flat. I like that style. So if it's anything like that, that's what I would go for in a modern flipper. I don't know if that's the same thing you're talking about.
I'm sure we've had this conversation too, John, about this.
I don't buy modern flippers. They all look the same, and I hate the pocket. I mean, they at some point they do just kind of all look like, not all of them, but a good 70% of them just seem like they all emulate one another, right? And the varieties just isn't there the way it is with traditional knives, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I know there's a lot of you guys out there that like moderns, and if I had more money, I'd probably have more moderns, but a lot of them are so expensive. Just the ones that I like all seem to be super expensive.
John, I have a question.
Sure.
Is it time?
It is time. Let me read this one last comment, though. I get less fond of moderns every day. I still love some of them, but for the most part, they're just played out. It's a giant hype train. There is a ton of hype for that. And I do get excited about some of the knives. Again, I think most of the ones that I really like, I can't afford them. Like, I'd love a Chavez. I can't afford that. Then just out of my reach. I mean, so I think I'm just going to stick with traditionals. Yeah, it says get a rat one and be done with it. What a simple solution, Zen. That's a pretty cool comment.
It would be
I like
a rat
that.
too, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Jen.
okay, rat one,
haven't
rat
got
two.
one. I haven't
Right.
got one. I really want one. It's still on my list to get one. I need to pick one up quick before they go.
All right, see you later, Judd. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. So you ready to do a giveaway, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to do the number game.
The number game?
Yeah, I mean the number selection.
Is it just closest to? We're not doing any of that without going over
Yes.
license?
You want to put the rules in so that we don't have the random hasn't ever played in a contest before in a knife channel guy put 17 numbers. So we have rules. We've got one selection, and we're going to do two giveaways. We're going to do a US giveaway and a UK giveaway. We'll do the UK giveaway first. So if you'd like to do a proxy for a UK person in the chat, you can do that. Let's try to keep it to the people in the chat.
You're doing the UK first, yeah?
Yeah, unless you just happen to know that they're like super common in the channels, then we're going to have their contact information. But otherwise, just try to keep it to the people in the chat. And we'll do a number between 1 and 100. One guess per person or one proxy per person. So if you see someone who's already got a proxy, vote for them. Please don't repeat that. So if someone, say, does one for, I don't know, who's a UK person in here?
Retro Stew.
Retro Stew. Yeah, like don't do multiples for Stew. Try to keep it to one.
And I will check a start at when we're ready to go, so don't put any numbers in just yet. Would you like to write a number down, John? Because I haven't got a pen. Well, I do, but no paper.
Oh, well, good thing I'm prepared. What do I want to do? 1 through 100?
1 through 100. I'm going to chuck a start up now. And while that's going on, I will show you what we're going to do.
Okay, so this is for the UK, guys. UK. One guess only or one proxy only for one person.
So
once you see
apologies for
somebody
the
get a
lighting.
proxy,
It's going dark here.
yeah.
But this is the Rough Rider Bow Trapper, the single bladed. This is the carbon steel blade one. You have the black micarta handles with the red G10 underliners.
Okay, Eland's another.
Has that sort of Scandi grind on there.
Yeah, that's a really popular knife from Rough Rider. 37 for Patty. Yeah, yeah. Like Patty needs another knife. But good one, Stacy.
Really nice walk and talk. Fit and finish is phenomenal on it.
27 for Steel City from Tim.
Blade centering, pretty much bang on. As the, what do you call that, the flying squirrel shield? Or the bomb shield?
Yeah. Either one works.
All nicely flush. Brand new, not been used, in the box.
Yeah. Can't believe MB hasn't showed up. So Twink Thing says, Tim, I totally agree about the hype. We are heavily influenced by YouTube videos to buy knives, and we shouldn't be buying. Well, not altogether, but yeah. Just buy what you like.
Just making sure that it's UK addresses only. So AK 7447. If you're not UK, please do it as a proxy bid for someone who is. Not sure. Cool. So we'll give it another couple seconds.
Okay. Yeah, just not a ton of UKers in here today. No problem. No problem.
It's all good. You can give it away to someone. AK, you've got Mikey Newman's in here, Elan. Who else did I see in here? Will Wilson, I know, is UK. If I was influenced by YouTube videos, I'd own a pack of wolves.
Right. $37 for Mikey. 86 for Mikey. All right, we about ready to stop?
Yes, sir. I'll check a stop up there now.
All right, you ready to reveal the number?
Go for it. What do you got? 66. Let's go up. Let's go up. 45, 54, 37, 62, 98, 84, 93, 37, 62. So it looks like Marvin won 62 for Paddy.
Right. 62 was for Patty. So Patty won.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for all guys for playing, Marvin. I'll let him know and I'll get that sent off to him ASAP.
Yep. All right, for the UK prize, going to be giving away
the US.
I'm sorry, US prize. Did I say UK?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. US prize, the yellow Imperial Saudi work knife, IMP22Y. And we'll just do the same thing. Just proxy if you want to proxy.
1 to 100 as well?
Yeah, let's just like change the number so nobody's confused.
Okay, well, I've already put it in.
From
200
so it's to 300.
It's too late. It's too late. I've already put 1 to 100.
Okay, well, never mind. We'll just do it again.
Go. Start. Go. Go for it. Enter your numbers. Well, there's a close selection of numbers there, John. They're all very close.
Are they?
We got 44, 51,
I didn't look.
42,
I didn't want
44,
to influence
43.
my number because I hadn't written one down yet, and they had already started putting them up. So I was just trying to look down and not look up. Okay, so let's see if there's anybody. Okay, we got a lot of good ones there. $12 for Stacy. Okay. All right, we about done.
Ready and ding.
You're not going to believe this.
Go on.
You're not going to believe this.
Go on. No.
You've won for Stacy. Congrats, Stacy.
That's X.
Slippy somehow guessed it. I thought Jess was going to win because you just won last week. I was like, wow, we're going to have a multiple winner in 2 weeks. But no, then you put your guess in and get right on the head. So there you go, Stacy. Congrats. So get your address to me, Stacy, because I do not have that. I know for sure. And just email me at thriftycaniffy@gmail.com. I'll put that up on the screen one more time.
I can't believe that. That's excellent.
Did I spell it right? Yes. Okay. So there you go.
Oh, it was a 50th on Wednesday. It's a birthday win. Happy birthday, Stacy.
Excellent. And you know why I picked 71? Do you happen to know?
No.
That was the year I was born. So there you go. Did you know that? You didn't know that.
Well, I know you're a lot older than I am.
What were you born? 91?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm 20. Yeah, it's 20 years older.
Well, I thought it was 120 years. You were 1871.
Ah, here we go. Might as well be my son in the room right now.
Number 13.
Jeez. Yeah, so Tim and I are about the same age, I guess. Me too, TK.
Stacy, I graduated in 91.
We're close. I graduated in 89.
I am a young'un.
72 is Jess's age. Congrats on being so old, Jess, that you've made it this far.
Yeah, so Jess is level 72.
Yeah, he's level 72. That's not hard to get to. 91 when he graduated from college. He's a young'un, isn't he?
You all are making me feel like a baby.
Yeah. Jackass. The scroll says so. Conversations or considerations also Slippy as a jackass. All right. So, yeah, just email that to me right away, Stacy, and I'll get that out to you on Monday. I don't think it's a holiday or anything Monday. But wide beards unite.
Look at Elon's comment.
Where's Elon? Have I missed it? Oh. In 91, I was merely a
wait.
sperm.
So I'm not the youngest anymore. That's excellent.
That makes you feel better, doesn't it?
I'm now an older person.
Yep. I would tell you a joke, but it's so crude that I can't. That's one my dad told me a long time ago.
Is it not YouTube friendly?
No, it's not.
Would it result in instant cancellation?
It had to do with me before I was born and what was going on, the activity that was going on. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's not
not YouTube friendly. Okay, so yeah, we're old. We're old. I don't care. I look older than I am because of the beard. Let me shave it off tomorrow. I'm gonna come here with beardless, and you're gonna have to unsubscribe.
He's an old man.
Nah, I'm not old. Feel like I was born yesterday. Oh, did you hear about what? Did you hear what Gus said on his video about being young?
I haven't seen it yet.
So, well, I've nearly died twice. I'm only about 4 weeks old. Apparently I died twice. So, I guess he's only 4 weeks old. And I said he did a damn good job if it's on his review for only being 4 weeks old.
4 weeks old, and he's doing a knife review. Jeez.
Yeah, he's one heck of a. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up, but hopefully, I'll check my email here just to see if Stacy got me that over there. Last week I had the email show up in the spam folder from Jess, so I have to be sure to check that. Don't know why. Don't know why. Let's see more spam. No spam.
Before you all go, please hit the like button. Don't forget to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Or as John calls it, the lick button.
Yeah.
Make sure you smash the lick button.
Yep. All right. We're gonna take off. Thanks everybody for coming in today. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll have another live next week, right? You're going to be
yes.
available?
Yep. Free next week.
All right. So this is a little longer than our normal one, but oh well. had a lot to talk about. But hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. I am Thrifty, and that is
Slippy.
peace out.
See you later, guys. Thanks for coming.